in proper quantity and quality. So there you have to understand what is the function of a carburetor. Okay, so why carburation is required, or what is the function of carburation? Now, and we say carburetor therefore is a device for mixing fuel and air in proper proportion to produce combustible air fuel mixture. Okay, so this is how we define the carburation process. And we went on to discuss the factors affecting carburation. So we said the factors affecting carburation is one, we said, was the speed. So how was the speed affecting? As the speed increased, the amount of time available for carburation was going to decrease, and therefore as per the requirement of quality and quantity, it may or may not be able to fulfill the quality and quantity as the speed goes on increasing. So that is where the engine speed becomes important. Then we said vaporization characteristics of the fuel are important. How? Because we know vaporization characteristics of the fuel is going to decide what is the time required for fuel to become vapor. Because in the available time, whatever we are allowed to prepare the mixture and supply to the engine, our fuel should be vaporized completely. Because we have designed the system for burning the air fuel vapor mixture. We are not designed the system for air fuel liquid mixture. No, correct? So if the liquid fuel is there, it may or may not burn in the engine. But if a vapor is there, the probability of burning is higher. And therefore, as we said, we have designed the system for air fuel vapor mixture. And as somebody discussed, asked the question doubt in the at the end of the previous lecture, what is expected to go into the engine? Whether it should be in the liquid form or vapor form, it should be in the vapor form. Okay, so we are expecting that the fuel is completely vaporized before it is supplied to the engine. That is what is our expectations, and accordingly we have supposed to design the engine. But depending on so many parameters related to your fuel supply system, it may not happen that all the fuel going into the engine may vaporize. So you might have seen or heard the overflow problem when we try to start the engine, preferably cold starting. What is this overflow problem? This particular problem is generally observed in carburetor. Correct? What is it? Petrol fuel starts flowing in the carburetor. What it means? It means that there is no sufficient amount of heat available in the air to vaporize the fuel. Correct? And therefore, what is happening? Instead of fuel, when it is atomized, we have converted the fuel flow into droplets. But since the droplets are unable to get the sufficient amount of heat from the air, incoming air, and get converted into vapor, this particular droplets are depositing on the walls of the carburetor and the petrol starts flowing in the carburetor. And what is the result? The result is that since there is no sufficient amount of vapor available, fuel vapor available in the mixture which is going into the engine is unable to start. Correct? So then what we do? We remove the pipe. We clean the carburetor. We clean the carburetor. So because we want to remove this particular flow over there. Okay. So that is where our requirement of the fuel vapor comes into picture. So we are assuming that all the fuel which is supplied to the engine is in the form of vapor. And we are saying a proper air fuel vapor mixture is being supplied. Henceforth, I may not say sometimes air fuel vapor mixture. I may say air fuel vapor, air fuel mixture. But what is assumed? It is assumed that air fuel vapor mixture is there going to the engine. So whenever we say air fuel mixture is going to the engine, it means that air fuel vapor mixture is going into the engine, because we presume that carburetor is able to convert all the liquid fuel into vapor before it is supplied to the engine. Okay, so that is where the vaporization characteristics of the fuel play a very important role in the process of fuel supply in the SI engine. Then here we have to take into consideration the temperature of the air, incoming air, because if there is no sufficient amount of heat available in the incoming air, then the the vaporization process is going to be incomplete. Vaporization process is going to be incomplete, and therefore it is going to affect our process of air fuel mixture formation. Okay, so that is where in a cold conditions, that is in winters, etc., or when we start the vehicle in the morning, because in the night it is cold, and since the engine parts are all cold, and the air initially whatever is coming in may not have sufficient amount of heat in it, and therefore it starts giving problem. Okay, so that is where the temperature of air, incoming air, becomes important for carburation process. And obviously how we have designed the system is also going to become an important parameter. Now all these things we have discussed. So now once again coming to this, so here what was the basic problem? The problem is here air, which is a gas, and the fuel, which is a liquid. Okay, and a gas cannot be mixed in a liquid. Okay, so a mixture cannot be formed of a gas and a liquid. So that is the basic issue of a carburetor, because we are talking of a device called as a carburetor, which is going to prepare air fuel mixture. And as we said, it is air fuel vapor mixture. Correct? So when we are trying to mix the air, which is gaseous, and fuel, which is in the form of liquid, we cannot mix them. So we said either the air has to be converted into liquid or fuel has to be converted into gaseous form. Okay, converting the air into liquid is not feasible. Okay, it requires very extreme conditions to convert this, and it is therefore not feasible. And therefore, what is feasible is converting the liquid into vapor. So once this fuel is being converted into vapor, then the fuel vapor can be mixed with the incoming air. And that is where we are talking of air fuel vapor mixture. So remember this always. So that is where we said we are talking of air fuel vapor mixture. So we say carburetor is a device that mixes the petrol or the fuel and air in correct proportions, and supply it to the combustion chamber in required quantity. Okay, so that is very important. The correct proportion is important, because we have already said that for acceleration, for when the vehicle is going up a hill, when the vehicle is going on a straight road, when the vehicle is going down a hill, when the vehicle is decelerating, in all these conditions, the amount of energy required is different. And where is the energy coming from? Burning the fuel. That means the amount of fuel supplied need to be changed. And in order to change the amount of fuel supplied, means we have to change the quality and quantity of the mixture being supplied. Okay, so that is where the importance of the carburetor becomes very important. So a carburetor is a device which atomizes, vaporizes, and mixes the fuel in correct proportions with air as required by the engine, and supply the right quantity of mixture to the engine. So this is the function of a carburetor. So carburetor prepares the mixture, and while preparing the mixture, what it has to keep in mind? It has to ensure that correct amount of air, correct amount of fuel has to be taken. Convert all the fuel into droplets initially. Ensure that all the droplets are going to be converted into vapor. Once all the vapor is being formed, that vapor has to be mixed with air. Mixture has been supposed to be formed, so mixing has to be there properly. And once the mixture has been prepared, that mixture has to be supplied to the engine in proper quantity. So that quantity is again important, and all this particular function has to be done by the carburetor. Now, again, yesterday we discussed the carburation stages. We said measuring the air and fuel, first stage. Then air, we are going to mix it with the fuel vapor. That means the liquid has to be converted into vapor. Liquid has to be converted into vapor. So liquid has to be converted into vapor. So that converting into vapor is a very important parameter, and here therefore it has to be broken up into or atomized, and therefore the second stage comes. In the second stage we have to atomize the fuel. Once it is atomized, then it has to be vaporized. Once it is vaporized, it has to be mixed, uniform mixing, and then supply in proper proportion. So all these things has to be kept in mind. So remember always, when you are discussing the carburetor, these things has to happen in the carburetor. Then and then only your carburation is going to be proper. Otherwise, it is incomplete or improper. Now, we are going to talk about the classification of the carburetors or different types of carburetors. Okay, so here we have carburetors of different shapes, sizes, and we have different parameters on which we can classify the carburetors. So some we have listed it out here. Okay, so classification can be on the basis of so many heads. So depending on the choke area of carburetor, the carburetors are classified as. Now, for this, we should know what is a choke. So this particular area is called as a choke. Now, why it is a choke, how the choke is working, or whatever we call it as, we'll discuss. So here we have a choke. So we have a open choke or constant choke carburetor, or variable choke or constant depression carburetor. With this, we'll discuss later what the choke is, how it is functioning, etc. Okay. So on the basis of choke. Now, second classification is on the basis of how the air or fuel is flowing in the carburetor. Okay, so we can have a downdraft carburetor, updraft carburetor, and horizontal draft carburetor. So in this, you can see it is a downdraft. So the air is coming inside from the top, and air fuel mixture is produced. This particular region is called as Venturi region. In the Venturi region, air fuel mixture is being produced, and air fuel mixture is going out. Okay, so this is a downdraft carburetor. On the contrary, here if you see, air is coming in from here, mixture is prepared here, and it is going to the engine from here. So we call this as an updraft carburetor. So this is an updraft carburetor, this is a downdraft carburetor, and this is the third type, which is horizontal. So air is coming from left side and the mixture is going out to the right side. So this is a horizontal draft carburetor. So here, according to the classification, is on the basis of the direction of the airflow. Okay, so on the direction of the airflow, carburetors are classified into updraft, downdraft, or horizontal draft. So that is another classification. So here you can see very well updraft, downdraft, and horizontal draft. Okay, so generally this is a very important classification, because in different engines This particular differentiation is very, very important. Now, what this difference is going to count for? What effect is going to be produced by this particular differentiation? That is, say, if as we said, we are going to spray the fuel, and when we are going to spray the fuel, then spraying this particular, when the fuel is being sprayed into the carburetor, the droplet is going to have some mass, and we know that anything which is having a mass and some inertia, and therefore some inertia, is going to be attracted towards the earth. So a natural tendency is to move down. Natural tendency of this particular fuel droplets is to move down. Correct? And if you take this particular case, updraft, the droplet has to move against the gravity, while here the droplets will be moving in the direction of the gravity. So that makes a problem. That creates a problem. So that result in the mixing tendency. How much mixing we are going to have? Okay, so that is going to be an issue. And to overcome this, we generally go for this, which is a compromise here. So here we will be having horizontal flow, and here neither we are making the air to flow up or down, rather we are making it to flow horizontally. Okay, even this will have some disadvantages, but that is going to be the major implication of the flow. So whether the fluid is going to flow against the gravity or in the gravity is going to concern. So that is where the direction of the flow becomes an important parameter for classification of the carburetor. And accordingly, we have downdraft, updraft, and side draft or horizontal draft type of carburetor. Then we have the next, that is number of barrels. So we have here so many barrels. So here 1 barrel, 2nd barrel, 3rd barrel, 4th barrel. So what is a barrel? So this particular pipeline through which the fuel is flowing is what we call as a barrel. Okay, and when the air or fuel is flowing through this particular barrel, mixture is being formed. So that barrels becomes an issue here, and as the fuel is flowing through this particular barrel, mixture is being produced, and that will result in the formation of the mixture. So that this has to be taken into consideration, and therefore we say the barrel becomes an issue, and therefore number of barrels is another criteria on which we are going to classify the engine. So we have here single barrel, dual barrel, 4 barrel, etc. Where in this particular figure you can see a 4 barrel type of a carburetor. Okay, so it is sufficient to have only one single barrel for the operation of a carburetor. Correct, but depending on the conditions in which we are going to run that particular engine, and to make it more flexible, we go for multiple barrel. Okay, we'll discuss later what is the effect of multiple barrel, and in which cases we generally go for multiple barrels. Here you can see very clearly the multiple barrels. So here the classification is on the basis of number of barrels. So we can have a single barrel, a dual barrel, or a 4 barrel, or we can say a multi-barrel type of carburetor. Okay, so that becomes basis for another classification, that is on the basis of barrels. Then like this we can have so many types of classification. So we'll be discussing as it is going on. This is a simple carburetor. Let me check out whether I have put the classifications separately. Okay, I will discuss here itself. So we have here, next is according to the type of metering system. Now here we say the metering system is what you mean is how you are going to, as we discussed in the previous class, metering means measuring. So what is the provision made to measure the fuel? Okay, so what is the provision made to measure the fuel? That means to increase the fuel or to decrease the fuel, what provisioning are made. And generally there are two types accordingly. One is the air bleed jet. So you can see this is a jet. Okay. So that one type of jet is called as air bleed jet. And later on we will see what we call as a metering rod type. Metering rod type of carburetor. So what this metering rod, again we will be discussing later. So, but just we are understanding over here is that depending on the metering system, we have two types of carburetors, that is air bleed jet type and a metering rod type. Then we have here, depending on the venturi, type of venturi used, we can have the classification as a plain venturi. This is a venturi I said. So depending accordingly, we have a plain venturi. So this is a plain venturi. We have a double venturi, triple venturi. Okay, so many types. So similar to what we have barrels, we can have the venturis also, multiple venturis used in a carburetor. Let me check out whether I have any figure of multiple venturi. So this was the metering rod, which we are going to discuss later. Okay, so this was the metering rod. So previously said, on the basis of type of metering system, we are classifying the carburetors into air bleed system and metering rod system. So this air bleed or metering rod, this is the air bleed or metering rod, and so this is the air bleed system. So this is a air bleeding system, and this is a meter rods. Okay, so these are what we classify this engines. Then we have multiple venturi. Let me check out the figure. If I have multiple venturi, we can use multiple venturis instead of a single venturi. So that is another classification where no, not included the figure of multiple venturi. Basically, it means how many venturis we are going to use. Okay, if it is whether it is a single venturi or we have a more than one venturi being used in a particular, then we one barrel, we call it as a single venturi or a multiple venturi type of carburetor. Then we have so this, that was on the basis of type number of venturis or type of venturi. According to the pressure above the fuel float chamber. So for that you need to understand what is a float chamber. So all this basically is going to be discussed. So don't worry, we will be again discussing all these things again. So at that time, you will be clearing regarding what we are discussing now. So here, this is a float chamber, and we are talking of here the pressure above the fuel float in the float chamber. Here. Now, it is balanced and unbalanced. It is one type. Okay, balanced is one type and unbalanced is another type. We'll discuss later what is this balanced and unbalanced type. So that is another classification. Then we have according to the type of power system used. So whenever the power is going to be changed, how the system is going to respond. So the response can be taken from this this carburetor manually or some assistance is taken. So generally manual means preferably what we do is we attach the carburetor, some of the component of the carburetor to the accelerator, and the carburetor will respond to the accelerator position. So then we call it as manually. So manually operated system or manually power system is one classification, and another is a vacuum type of system. So there what we do is we connect the carburetor to the engine vacuum, and whenever the vacuum changes in the engine changes, accordingly the carburetor is going to respond. So again, this is also we are going to discuss later. Okay, how it is going to respond to the vacuum. So basically, see this. These are the so many classifications. Just I am discussing now the types of classification. Okay, so we are just discussing classification now. Basically, these are all the types of the carburetor which, as and we move forward, we will be discussing again. So these were the classification of the carburetor. That is according to the airflow direction, we have downdraft or updraft or side draft. Then depending on the number of barrels, we set single barrel, multi-barrel, etc. Then we have, depending on the metering system, we have air bleed jet or metering rod type. Then we have, depending on the venturi, single venturi, multiple venturi, or double venturi or triple venturi. Again, all these things I will show again the figures of this so that you can understand properly, because everything cannot be discussed initially itself. As and when we go further, we will be discussing all these particular types. Then we said, depending on the pressure on the float chamber, we have the balanced type and unbalanced type. And then on the basis of the power system, we have manually operated system and the vacuum operated system. Again, we have so many types, other types also. For example, we have how the mixture strength is going to be ensured. On the basis of that, we have a constant choke carburetor or a constant vacuum carburetor. Then we have, according to the arrangement of the float chamber, we have eccentric type and a concentric type of carburetor. So like this, so many type of carburetors we have, and all this particular type of carburetors we will be discussing as and when required. Okay, so the eccentric and concentric type, just I will try to brief it here. So this, you can see the center line of this particular float chamber is at a certain distance from here. Okay, so this can be made to enclose this. So this particular float chamber can be arranged here itself, enclosing this particular barrel. Then this is called as a concentric. Okay, and this arrangement, whatever we have, is eccentric. So if it is offset, then it is called as a eccentric. If it is the same, that is your this is your carburetor barrel, and the float chamber will be like this. So later on, I will show you some videos and all, where you will be seeing all these particular types very clearly. So that was about the arrangement of the float chamber. Like this, we can have the classification on different basis, n number of types. We can take any parameter, and on that basis, then we can have different classification. So so basically, some important type we have to remember, that is it. The most important type is the downdraft, updraft type, and side draft type. We have a single barrel, dual barrel, the multi-barrel. Then we have the air bleed jet type and the metering rod type, and we have the venturi, and that is a single venturi, double venturi, or triple venturi, etc. And the manually operated and vacuum operated. So these are the important types. So like this, we can have so many types of carburetor classifications. So we are discussing about now the classification of the carburetor. On this basis, we can have so many types. So this was the multiple barrel carburetor. This is a simple carburetor. Now let us move on to discuss what a simple carburetor is. Now, in order to better understand what a simple carburetor is, first, once again, let us revise the function of a carburetor. So the function of a carburetor is to meter means measure the correct amount of fuel and air, bring it into the carburetor. So the operating conditions, the surrounding conditions has to be proper, or the condition inside the carburetor has to be proper, because we want the fuel to be converted into vapor, that is vaporization has to be taken place. So for that, we go for atomization. So once the air and fuel has been bought, then the atomization is taking place, vaporization is taking place, and the mixing is taking place, and proper uniform mixture of air, fuel, vapor mixture is being formed. And this particular mixture is supposed to be supplied to the engine. So that becomes your function of the carburetor. So this particular system, which we call as a simple carburetor, is going to perform this function. What is the function? Measure air and fuel both, convert the fuel flow into droplets, vaporize the droplets, mix the fuel vapor into air, prepare a uniform mixture of air and fuel, and then supply the air fuel mixture to the engine in a required quantity, in required proportions. Okay. Now, while preparing this, some difficulties, as we already discussed, is arising. And what are the difficulties? So the general difficulties what we arise are, one is the nature of the fluid. So as we discussed, one is a gas and another is a liquid. So mixing a liquid and a gas becomes an issue, and therefore some conversion has to be taking place. So that is where we say we have converted the liquid into droplets, and the droplet is going to be evaporate when it comes into contact with the heat from the air, and then vaporization is going to take place. And when once the vaporization is taking place, mixing has to be happening. So that is one parameter which has to be taken into consideration. Second is the volatility of the fuel. So if the volatility is not proper, obviously there will be difficulty in preparing the mixture. So that becomes another issue where we have to face a difficulty. Because now why this particular point we are discussing primarily over here is that, see, when I say volatility of the fuel, we should understand that what a fuel is. What a fuel is. So when I say petrol, when I say diesel, what is its composition? Whether the composition is going to be fixed. So the answer is no. And there becomes the problem. Because if we know the exact composition of the fuel, then we can design certain things accordingly, so that we can ensure that complete vaporization is going to happen. But the problem here is that the composition of the fuel is going to change. What it means and why it happens so. The reason why it happens is, see, this particular problem is related to how the petroleum is being formed. How the petrol is formed. So thousands of years ago, some vegetable matter got buried into the earth. Got buried into earth, maybe due to some reasons. So the reason we are not considering over here, discussing over here. So this vegetation or vegetable matter got buried. Whatever the vegetable matter is, that is going to undergo some changes. And what changes? And due to what? So some chemical changes due to heat and pressure. So what will decide how much heat and how much pressure? So depending on how much depth it is getting buried, how much weight is there on the upper side of it, in that region how much pressure is there, depending on that will decide how much temperature is there, and for how much period, how many thousands of years it is going to be there. So period, it is going to be again an important parameter. So under these conditions, some chemical reactions are taking place, and that vegetable matter is going to be converted into what we call as a petroleum fuel or crude oil. Now, the composition of this particular crude oil is decided by what got buried. What got buried? If it is animals, then the reactions taking place is different, and the composition of the crude oil will be different. If it is vegetable matter like plants, then it will be different. And obviously we know different plant is also having different composition. Correct. So a oak tree will not be having a similar composition as a bubble tree. Correct. So means मराठीत सांगायचं झालं तर एक बाबळीचं लाकूड आणि आंब्याचं लाकूड एकसारखं जळत नाही चुलीमध्ये. There is some difference the way it is going to burn. So it means why the composition of that particular wood is going to be changed. And that, so depending on what is the composition of the things what got buried, the composition of the petroleum fuel is going to change. Therefore, today whatever we are digging out from the earth, we are not knowing what is the composition. Correct? First thing. Second thing, where it is getting buried. So whether we are getting the fuel, crude oil from Iran, whether we are getting it from Venezuela, whether we are getting it from Russia, and that crude oil is there for how many years, thousands of years, we don't know. What got buried in that region, we don't know. Here in India also, in the Bombay High, we have crude oil, very small quantity. So the composition of the crude oil in the Bombay High will not be same as that of a composition of the crude oil in the imported from the Iran or Iraq or Venezuela or Russia, whatever it is. And therefore, the composition of the fuel, when I say petrol, it is not going to be fixed. It can have olefins, it can have aromatics, it can have alcohols, it can have so many things. All the chemicals, whatever you have learned in the chemistry of the 12th standard. Okay, so many hydrogen families are there. All these particular families are going to be there. Aromatics, alkenes, naphthenes, alcohols, so many things. So many hydrogen families are there, isn't it? And all these particular families are going to be present, and by what amount. So depending what is there and by what amount is going to decide what is the composition. And therefore, whenever we are taking a fuel, we are not knowing exactly what is the composition of that particular fuel, because that depends on where the crude oil is coming from, and in that particular crude oil, what is the composition. So depending on that, there is some variation in the composition of the fuel. So generally, when we put the composition of the petrol, we say this particular hydrocarbon by this range, in this particular range, this hydrocarbon in this particular range, this hydrocarbon in this particular 10 to 20%, 30 to 40%, like that we put. So we are not fixed. They are not fixed, and that again become an issue. So that is where we said the volatility is going to be changed. So why the volatility is different? Because the composition is different. And since the composition is different, we are unable to ensure that volatility is going to be exact whatever is required. That creates a problem. That creates a problem. So we cannot ensure. Moreover, see, if I have designed a fuel for burning in the engine, suppose I have designed that particular fuel for India, and we know that India, it is a moderate temperature, around 20 to 30 degrees. That is the range, temperature range in India. But if the same vehicle goes in the Russia, so it is near the Arctic, isn't it? So the North Pole, near to the North Pole, Russia is. So there the temperature is near 0 degree. That means the air that is going to be inhaled there by the engine is going to be having lesser amount of heat. That means the vapor is not going to be formed the amount it was forming in India. That is, volatility is going to be affected by the incoming air temperature. And this particular temperature is going to be different in different regions. So if I go in Kashmir, the temperature is different, and therefore the vaporization accordingly is going to be affected. So that means the composition of the fuel has to be changed according to the condition where it is going to be used. Okay. If you will get the proper fuel according to the conditions, for example, for Indian warm condition, I have designed, but in India we don't have the conditions similar throughout the India. If I go to Konkan region, their temperature is almost above 25 degrees. While if you go in the Kashmir, Simla and all, it is almost nearer to 0 degrees. So same vehicle running in Konkan may go to Simla also, but it is going to give problem. Why? Because the fuel. So then the manufacturer has to ensure that when the fuel is being supplied for the Simla, the composition has to be bit altered. And when it is applied to a Konkan, then it has to be bit altered. Moreover, suppose now we have a rainy season. In the December or January, we have the winter season. And in the May, we have summer season. Now, when in the winter season, the temperature goes down. And in the summer, the temperature goes above 40. So in the Solapur, if you take, it goes around 40, 45 degrees. And in the winter, it may go to 10, 15 degrees. So if the same fuel, whatever I have designed, if it is working properly in summer, maybe it is not working properly in winter. If it is designed for winter, maybe it is not working properly for summer. So that again creates a problem. See the complexity of the problem. We have the fuel, but the composition is different. Why? The source is different. We have the composition. Now the temperatures are going to affect. Why? The volatility is going to be affected. Why the volatility is affected? Because the incoming air is at a different temperature. That means depending on the seasons also, there should be some variation in the composition of the fuel. And therefore, we cannot say our fuel is going to have a fixed quantity of composition, like I cannot say the aromatics 10%. Like that, I cannot say exactly. So that becomes an issue for fuel when it is going to be vaporized or evaporated. That is, volatility becomes a very important problem in case of SI engines. So that is an issue. Then mechanical characteristics of the engine is again going to have some effect, like the wall settings, because depending on the wall settings, we know the time the wall is going to remain open or closed is going to change, and accordingly that is going to also affect. Then the conditions of the engine, like speed, we already discussed. The load on the engine, that is going to affect. Then we have the incoming air, the temperature is going to be affect. Okay, now we say that the temperature, let us say, consider in Maharashtra, we will say that almost the temperature is constant. But if you go to Konkan, the humidity is more, and in Pandharpur, the humidity is very less. Now, how it is going to affect? So when that particular heat is going to be absorbed, the heat will be absorbed by the moisture also, because the moisture is also trying to absorb the heat from the air. So the heat produced is going to be is going to be affected by the amount of humidity present in the air fuel mixture. That means when air is incoming, in the incoming air, whatever amount of humidity is there, that is also going to affect. So these are some of the problems which we are going to face when we are going to prepare the mixture. So summarizing, what are the general difficulties? The composition of the fuel, and correspondingly the volatility is going to be affected. Then the wall setting, etc. Then the conditions like the speed and the load on the engine is going to affect. Then the air temperature and humidity is going to affect. So many effects are there, and all those things has to be taken into consideration before we say our carburetor is going to work properly. And these things we have to keep in mind before we discuss a simple carburetor. So now let us discuss a simple carburetor. So this particular figure, you can see this is a simple carburetor. So now let us discuss what is there in a simple carburetor. Okay. This figure, it is same, one and same. So here it is a bit simplified, so that I will initially use and then later go on to that figure. So here we have this particular pipe-like region. Okay, this is called as a barrel. So this is a carburetor barrel. So in this particular figure, if you see, this is a barrel. Okay, so this particular hole, whatever you are seeing, that is your barrel. So that was the barrel. Then you have here written here a venturi throat. So this particular region is called as a venturi. So this uh, uh, convergent and a divergent, here a convergent section and a divergent section, this is called a venturi. Okay, now what is this venturi, how it is working, all this we are going to discuss. So don't worry about that. So this is called as a venturi region. Okay, so this is a venturi region, and in the venturi we have a jet. So here we have a fuel jet, and here is a fuel supply line. So main fuel supply line. This is a main jet, and this is your main fuel supply line. And connected to this fuel supply line is your float chamber. So this particular is your float chamber. Okay, so the chamber in which you can see some fuel is there. So some liquid. Generally, liquids are denoted like this. So this is a symbol for a liquid. So here we have a liquid which is fuel, and in this particular fuel there is a float. So something is floating, and we call it as a float. So it is a hollow construction, and therefore it is floating, and we call it as a float. And on the float we have a needle-like arrangement which is used to close or open this particular, and therefore we call it as a valve. So we have a float and we have a needle valve connecting it. Okay, and this is the pipeline arrangement through which the fuel is going to flow in, and we have already discussed we are filtering it and taking it. So here we have shown a fuel filter. Fuel is coming in, filtered fuel is coming in, it is allowed in by this particular needle valve which is connected to the float, and the float is there in the float chamber. In the float chamber we have the fuel and the float chamber. From the fuel float chamber, fuel is flowing through the main fuel line to the main jet, and from the main jet the fuel is supposed to come out. Here the air is coming into the barrel. Here the mixture is going to the engine from the barrel. So that is basically a simple carburetor, different components of a simple carburetor. We are going to discuss how this is going to work. So I will take a Pomodoro break. Any doubt till whatever we have discussed till now? Please unmute yourself and you can ask. Anything which we have discussed till now and you are not understood? Anybody?
Hello sir.
हाँ please.
Sir, throttle से explain करा क्या सुना था?
Throttle valve.
Use of throttle.
Throttle. Yeah. See.
Yes.
As I said, yes. Okay. Point noted down. So throttle, we are going to explain in detail how it is going to work. Okay. What is the importance of the throttle? How it is working? What is the function? When it comes into play? All those things we are going to explain in detail after discussing the simple carburetor. I hope it is okay. Yes.
Yes.
We are going.
Yes,
we are going to discuss it. Okay. So these are the different components. We have a barrel over here. We have, this is a region what we call as a venturi. In the venturi we have a divergent section. We have a convergence. So convergent and a divergent section. And inside the venturi throat, we have this particular jet located. And connecting the main jet, we have the main fuel supply line. The fuel supply line, other end of the fuel supply line connected to the float chamber. The float chamber, inside the float chamber, there is a fuel and there is a float. The float is flowing in the fuel inside the float chamber. On the float, we have one valve connected, which we call as a needle valve. And the needle valve is there to open and close the fuel supply, which is being supplied to the float chamber inside the combustion float chamber. So we have here the fuel coming in, and the fuel is supposed to come out of this particular jet. Air is coming out from here, in from here, and here we are preparing a mixture, and then air fuel mixture is being supplied to the engine. Okay, and here we have a throttle valve, and here we have a choke. So this throttle and choke we are going to explain in detail. What is the function, how it is working, when it has to work, how they are operated, and so on. Okay, everything we are going to explain in detail. Before that, so that was the different components. Now let us discuss how it is operating. Okay, so let us start. So either we can take it air flowing from up and mixture going down, or we can say air is flowing from here and mixture is going out. Okay. What it means, one was the updraft and another is the downdraft carburetor. Okay. So if you don't get confused, if you see in some book, air coming in shown on the above and air fuel mixture shown going down, and in some books air may be shown coming here in and air fuel mixture going out from here. Don't get confused. What it means is only that we are using, in one case we are explaining with the help of a updraft carburetor, and in one case we are explaining with the help of a downdraft carburetor. That is the only meaning. Okay, other things remain the same. So moving ahead, now we have here one more thing. This is the throttle valve. So you can note down here that the throttle valve is on the side which is supplying the air fuel mixture from the carburetor to the engine, and we have located the choke to the side where the air is coming in. Okay, so the inlet side, the choke will be there, and to the outlet side we have the throttle. So if you see in this particular figure, what is this? Choke. Choke is where? On the inlet side. What is this? Throttle. Throttle is where? Outlet side. So if you compare, in the one book it is like this, in the other book it is like this. Don't get confused. That is why I have shown both the figures intentionally. Okay, here throttle valve is shown here. In this figure the throttle valve is shown here. So you may get confused. Regarding one book it is shown on the upper side, in one book it is shown in the lower side. Then how it is working, and you feel it difficult, you will find it difficult to understand it, correlate it. Therefore, I have mentioned it very clearly. Okay, so now knowing this much, here air is coming in, and we said the choke is there. So the choke is open now completely. So if this is horizontal, it is closed. If this is vertical, it is completely open. And this is the intermediate position. Okay, so this is a completely open position. If it is horizontal, it is completely closed position. Now is choke seen here? No. Let me check out any figure. We have a choke seen properly. No, we haven't. So we don't have. I will show the videos where this concept of this particular choke and everything will be very, very clear. So don't worry about it. Okay. Only thing is, this is a disc. Okay, this is a round disc. This particular barrel is circular one. Okay, round barrel. Okay, and in this particular barrel we have a disc. So when this disc is horizontal like this, hole will be completely closed. That is the meaning. And when it is made vertical, how it is made over horizontal and vertical? We have put here a shaft. Okay, on this particular shaft we are trying to rotate it. So when we rotate it like this, it will become vertical like this. Okay, or we make it completely horizontal, this passage will be closed. So the function of this particular valve is to open and close. That is all. Okay, so this one and this one is nothing but just a disc, two discs. Okay, so the disc, when it is horizontal, it will close the passage. When it is vertical, in this type of arrangement, in the vertical type of arrangement, that is updraft or downdraft. Okay, in the horizontal, it will not be the case. Okay, when this is vertical, it will be completely open. This is horizontal, it will be completely closed. If it is a horizontal type of carburetor, this, when it is vertical, it is completely closed. When it is horizontal, it is completely open. So that don't get confused. So when this is vertical, it is completely open and air is coming in from here. If I say use this figure, I will say air is coming from here. So don't get confused. So air is coming from here and air is coming to the venturi region. Venturi region. Now what is this venturi? What is this venturi? So you can see our venturi over here. So venturi generally have a convergent region. So air is coming from here. A convergent region Then this region is called as a throat, and this is a convergent region. So, sorry, convergent, throat, and divergent region. That means when we say convergent, the dimension is going to, the diameter is going to decrease. Convergent. So diameter, the whole diameter is going to decrease. That is convergent. Okay, slowly it is going on decreasing and decreasing. In the center, we have a region what we call as fixed, which we call as a throat region. So the dimension is not varying, which we call as a throat region. And finally, we have a divergent region where we say the dimension is going to increase. So the dimension over here and here it has to be same. The dimension over here and here it has to be same. That means the conditions here and the conditions here will be similar. That is what we are trying to talk about. Okay. The conditions when we are saying the conditions we are talking of the dimensions. Okay. So the dimensions here and here it has to be same. So now since this is open to air over here, atmospheric over here, at atmospheric pressure the air is moving in. At atmospheric pressure the air is moving in. Now how can the air moving in? Because we know that air is a fluid, and a fluid to move, we know there has to be a pressure difference. Pressure difference. So when we discussed initially the carburetor, we said we have to make a provision of bringing the measured quantity of air and bringing the measured quantity of fuel into the carburetor first. So we have to, that is where we have put a valve. Okay, that is where we are putting the valves. So valve is a provision for measuring it, first thing. Now, when it is completely open, all the air will be coming in. According to, depending on how much open this particular valve is, which we call as a choke or something like, okay, and air is going to come in. Now here, the dimension is going to decrease. The dimension is going to decrease. And then it is going to increase. So this is the convergent region, this is the throat region, and this is the divergent region, and then again similar dimension as earlier. Now again a valve to ensure that the fuel which is being supplied, we said earlier that we want to supply a fixed quantity, or we want to ensure that the quantity and quality of the mixture supplied to the engine is going to be governed. So the quantity has to be controlled, and that for controlling we have a valve over here. Okay, so when this valve is vertical, all the mixture coming in will go out. When this is not vertical, in any other position, some amount will be decreased, and when it is completely like this, horizontal, it will be completely closed. It will not allow anything to go pass across like this. Okay, so that is why a valve over here. So we have a valve over here, one valve over here. Okay, now here we said we have measured the, we have to make the measured quantity of air coming in. Now that means there should be some provision to ensure that the air is made to come into the carburetor. What is the provision for that? How to make the air to come into the carburetor? So there should be some provision has to be made. Now I will open this particular questions to you. Tell me what can be the provision made to ensure that air is made to come into the carburetor. Over to you. Somebody can unmute yourself and try to give the answer of this particular question. Somebody can unmute and tell me. Who is this? Guligat Sonam Gupta Bewafa hai. in the chat. Say avoid such things in the chat. Isn't it? Huh. So I want somebody to answer my question. What is the provision? What can be the provision? See, let it be. Anything you can say, anything, any rubbish thing you can say over here, no problem at all. Just I want your view regarding what can be done to make the air flow in a measured quantity. We have here obviously the wall to make the measurement, but what provision can be made, what can be done to make the air flow into the carburetor? Anybody? Anybody can answer. Suhas Naste.
Yes, sir.
Huh. Can you tell me something? How we can make the air to flow into the barrel? This is your barrel. This region is called, this particular pipe-like region. This is your barrel. I want to make the air to flow into the barrel. What I can do? Soham Overikar. Shubham Shingan. Saurav Pawar. Rutvik Gore. Sachin Sutar, please. Sutar. Sachin. Can you answer? Anybody can guess. Anything can be done which can be done to make the air flow. So we are learning, we want to apply our basics. So whatever you have learned till date, you need to apply to understand the things.
When choke is become vertical, then air goes in the barrel.
Okay, good. Okay, that is your view. Any other view? See, let it be right, wrong. Don't worry about. कोणी आईच्या उदरातून येताना शिकून आलेलं नसतं. प्रत्येक जण इथं आल्यानंतर शिकतो. त्यामुळं चुकायचा माझ्या सहित सगळ्यांना चुकायचा पूर्ण अधिकार आहे. त्यामुळे चुकल्यानंतर कोणी लाजायचं कारण नाही, रागवायचं पण कारण नाहीये. ओके, कारण कोणच इथं येताना शिकून आलेलं नाही. आपण सगळेजण शिकतोय, माझ्या सहित सगळेजण शिकतोय. सो वी आर लर्निंग ओव्हर हियर. So don't worry about being wrong. Okay, now anybody else? There are 38 students present now. Out of that, can I expect 3-4 answers? Okay, I will give a hint. In order to make a flow of a fluid, there should be pressure difference. Then and then only fluid will flow. So I have given the hint. Now come, try to answer. Somebody can try. Figure is in front of you. We want air to flow in. Air is coming from here. If you take this particular figure, air is coming from here. We want air to come here. In both the cases, doesn't matter. Anybody else? One answer I got. Very good. You tried to answer. And see, as engineers, we should have some view. It cannot happen that we don't have any view. Because if we don't have a view, then we are not supposed to be engineers. Because we cannot work as an engineer. Because we, as I initially in the first lecture I told you, we are problem solvers. And if you cannot use whatever we have learned, we will not be able to solve the problems. So come on. I want to make the fluid to flow in here. What I can do? What's the question? Anybody? I have given the hint. Okay. Now I will come. So here you can see, sometime I am using this, sometime I am using this figure. Don't get confused. Okay. So here, fuel air engine cylinder. Now this is connected to intake manifold. Intake manifold. I have given second hint. Can anybody now answer the question? Anybody? I have given a second hint. See how the engine is working. The piston will move from top dead center to bottom dead center, and there is a vacuum created. Suction is there. Vacuum created is there. And this is connected to cylinder through intake manifold. That means there is a vacuum in this region. And what is the pressure over here? Here it is atmospheric. So we have on this particular pipe, end of this particular pipe, on one side we have a vacuum, here we have atmospheric pressure. Which is more? Obviously atmospheric pressure is more than the vacuum over here. What will be the result? The result will be air will be flowing from this side to this side. If I take this particular figure, this is going to the engine. That means this side is connected to engine vacuum. Therefore, this side it will be vacuum. Here it will be atmospheric pressure. There is a difference between the atmospheric pressure and the vacuum pressure, and therefore air tends to flow like this. I hope I have answered the question. I hope I have answered the question. Somebody can unmute and tell me. Somebody can unmute and tell me whether whatever I have explained, how the air is made to flow in. You are understood or not? Somebody can unmute?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Understood.
Yeah, thank you. So that is where we said initial function of the carburetor, we said meter the air and bring it to the carburetor. Now, we have one more function, similar function. What is it? Meter the fuel and bring it to the carburetor. That means we have to make here some provision to ensure that the fuel, liquid fuel is going to come to the carburetor. Now, somebody can guess what is being done to make the fuel come in. Open to all. Question open to all. Here I have now explained. Now somebody can give some input regarding how the fuel is coming in. What is the provision made to bring the fuel into the carburetor? How we can make the fuel to come into the carburetor?
Gravity.
Gravity. Okay. Anybody else?
When float
Huh?
chamber,
Uh-huh.
when a become float chambered fuel is less, then a float comes lower side, then needle valve make some space, then that space comes petrol.
Okay.
When they are completely filled, then
Okay.
float moves up, then needle valve get attach that pipe and close their flow.
Okay, that is your view. Okay, very good. Anybody else having any other view? Anybody else? See, you have to become open. You have to become interactive. Then and then only I will come to know whether you are understanding or not. Somebody else can also try. There are many students, almost 40 students in the present here in the class now. So somebody else can try, or should I take the names? Saurav Pawar, Sainath Kharade, Ruturaj Kale, Rahul Gaikwad, Prashant Mali. Somebody try. Rahul Chaudhary, can you try? Rahul Chaudhary, unmute. Can you try? What makes the fuel come into the barrel? Okay. Neha Patil, can you try? Neha Patil. Neha Patil can unmute. Neha Patil, hope you are not sleeping.
No, sir.
Hi. So after lunch, so I have a scope to take a doubt regarding whether you are sleeping. Okay.
Yes.
So my question here is, can we make some provision to make the fuel to come into the barrel in the present system?
No idea, sir.
No idea. Okay. Kedar Yadav, can you try? Yadav Kedar. What happened? Kedar. Say, since it is an afternoon session, as I said now, I have a very good reason for doubting whether you are sleeping or not. Kedar. Okay. So Kedar is not answering. Maybe he has slept. Karande. Gaurav. Gaurav Karande.
Yes, sir.
Can you try? Can you
No
try?
idea, sir.
Just try. What is the problem in trying? What happened, Karande? Whether you are shy or Saurav Edke, can you try? Okay. Saurav, can you try? Saurav Edke. Edke Saurav. He's sleeping. Diksha Admile.
Yes, sir.
Can you try?
No, sir. No idea.
No idea. Okay. It doesn't matter. Just I was checking whether you are sleeping or not. Okay. So.
Hello, sir.
Please. Gaurav,
सर
please.
सर जेव्हा चोक जेव्हा क्लोज असतो ना तेव्हा तो
Right.
कमी एअर आतमध्ये सक करतो त्यावेळेस
हा.
वेंचुरी जास्त प्रमाणामध्ये फ्युल ह्याच्यामध्ये हे करतं सिलेंडर मध्ये.
बर त्याच्यामुळे फ्युएल आतमध्ये येते. बर ठीक आहे. ओके. So they have given their views. So now coming back, let us discuss what is the provision made for fuel to come in. For air to come in, we said this particular barrel is connected to one side to the engine vacuum and the other side it is atmospheric, and therefore due to pressure difference here the fuel fluid is flowing. And always remember, any fluid to flow there has to be potential pressure differential. The way we say for electricity to flow there should be potential difference, for the fluid to flow always there should be pressure difference. If the pressure difference is there, then and then only your fluid is going to flow, otherwise no. So what we do is we provide a venturi over here. Now what is this venturi? So as we said, venturi is a convergent section, then the throat section and the divergent section. Okay. These are the three sections of a venturi. Now, when we say these are the three sections, so you can see here the convergent, then the throat, and the divergent. So these are the three sections of a venturi, and let us see what is going to happen. So if you consider air is flowing like this, or we'll take this figure, air is flowing like this, and it is coming into the venturi, and it is then supposed to go out. Now, here when the air is flowing in, some amount of mass is going to flow in, correct? So from here to here, that particular amount of mass is going to flow unrestricted, and it is flowing with some inertia. Now, similarly, from here to here, whatever the mass here, that is going to flow unrestricted. If this is open, we are considering presently these walls are open, and we are saying the mass is going to flow here from here to here. That means mass here and mass here has to be maintained constant. Why? Because this is connected to engine and this is connected to atmosphere. So whatever is coming in from here has to go out from here. Correct? Now, in order to ensure that the mass flow rate is going to remain constant, when it comes here, what is going to happen? Until here, whatever is coming, it will remain constant. But once it enters this convergent section, now the dimension, the circular hole dimension is going to reduce. Here the mass flow rate and here the mass flow rate is constant. So here and here, if the mass flow rate is constant, but what is going to happen when it is from here to here? That is the question. That is where we have provided the venturi. So in the convergent section of the venturi, what is happening is suddenly due to the decrease in the cross section, in order to maintain the mass flow rate constant, mass flow rate has to be remain constant because here and here the dimensions are the same. So the mass flow here and here has to be remain constant. Only thing is something is happening over here. And what is it? So since the mass flow rate over here and the mass flow rate over here is constant, here also we have to maintain the mass flow rate constant. Means even though the dimension of the pipe, that is the diameter of the pipe, has decreased, the mass flow rate has to be remain constant. Means what is mass flow rate? Mass of fluid flowing per unit time, that is going to remain constant. And you might have watered the plant. आपण पाण्याला वगैरे झाडाला वगैरे पाणी घालताना बघतो, आपण पाईपनं आपण पाणी घालतो, त्यावेळेला आपण काय करतो, पाईप जे आहे त्याच्या तोंडाला चिमटतो. चिमटलं की त्याची धार असते ते we'll get a jet. Okay, that is the velocity is going to increase. आणि ती जर आपण तोंड unrestricted ठेवलं, the flow will be flowing like a water flowing from the tap, like this. It will flow like this, it will come out. But if you go to decrease the dimension of the exit, then with the force, with the velocity, it will exit. That is, from here, in order to maintain the, म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय, असं गृहीत धरा की हा रस्ता आहे पूर्ण, बरोबर आहे, हा रस्ता आहे आणि इथं काहीतरी ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन आहे, आणि आता इथून एक मार्च पास्ट येते. म्हणजे मार्च पास्ट माहिती आहे तुम्हाला, सैनिक असतात, ते ओळी उभा राहिलेले असतात, अशी 2, 4, 5 जेवढ्या लाईनी असतात तेवढ्या, त्या पद्धतीनं, आणि ते असे चालत येत आहेत. आता इथं एकदा आलं की इथून इथपर्यंत गेल्यानंतर परत इथं पण लाईन, इथली लाईन इथं आली पाहिजे, इथली लाईन इथं आली पाहिजे. म्हणजे इथली लाईन आहे ती इथं यायला लागणार, इथली लाईन आहे ती इथं येणार, बरोबर आहे. परंतु इथं काय करावं लागेल, इथं त्यांना असं पळत येऊन इथं जॉईन व्हावं लागेल. का? इथून इथं मास फ्लो रेट इथं आणि इथं कॉन्स्टंट आहे, म्हणजे इथं जेवढे आतमध्ये येतात तिथं एवढेच इथं बाहेर जात आहे. ओके, पण इथं काय करावं लागेल, इथं असं त्यांना पळत येऊन असं जावं लागेल. व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग हिअर इज ड्यू टू, का इथं पळत काय यायला लागतंय, कारण तिथं मधला येणारा तो सरळच येणार आहे, परंतु ही साईडला येणार आहे त्याला एवढं अंतर जास्त कापावं लागणार. दॅट मीन्स द वेलॉसिटी इज गोइंग टू इन्क्रीज. सो सिन्स द डायमेन्शन, द cross section of the pipe, what we call as the barrel over here, is decreasing due to the presence of venturi. From here to here, the velocity is going to increase. Velocity is going to increase. Now, once it comes over here and comes in the divergent section, what happens? The velocity from here was increasing, and here it went to maximum. From here, the velocity goes on decreasing, and it goes to its original value, and thereafter it remains constant. So velocity over here and velocity over here is remaining constant. In between, here there is an increment in the velocity from here, and from here the velocity will go on decreasing from here to here, and then it will remain constant. So velocity, mass flow rate depends on the velocity. So whatever the mass flow rate over here and here, it is going to remain constant. And in order to maintain the mass flow rate, the velocity has to increase from here to here and decrease from here to here. So initially it has to increase. Now, till this everybody agree? आतापर्यंत जे काय बोललो ते सगळ्यांना समजलं? Anybody who has not understood what I said now? Somebody unmute and tell me. Those who are not understood, please tell me whether you are not whether you are understood or not. What is happening in the venturi? Somebody can unmute and tell me. Can I get confirmation? Diksha? Diksha Admile?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
sir.
sir. Ha. Who is saying no? Yes. Can I know who is saying no? Ha. Somebody can.
Repeat करा थोडं sir.
हा काय झालं अजून एकदा एक्सप्लेन करायचं ओके ओके नो प्रॉब्लेम सो इथं आणि इथं मास फ्लो रेट कॉन्स्टंट आहे एवढं तर समजलं इथं आणि इथं मास फ्लो रेट सेम राहणार आहे आता इथून मास फ्लो रेट जर सेम राहणार असेल आता एका पाईप मधून घेतलं जेवढं एका बाजून आत येते तेवढं दुसऱ्या बाजून बाहेर गेलं पाहिजे सिंपल दॅट मीन्स मास फ्लो रेट इज गोइंग टू रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट ओके सो हिअर अँड हिअर द मास फ्लो रेट इज गोइंग टू रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट आता इथून मास फ्लो रेट रिमेन कॉन्स्टंट पाहिजे असेल तर आपल्याला इथून थ्रूआउट डायमेन्शन सेम असेल तर मास फ्लो रेट ऑब्विसली सेम राहणार आहे परंतु आपण इथं काय केलं एक वेंचुरी दिली मध्ये तो वी हॅव पुट अ वेंचुरी ओव्हर हिअर आणि वेंचुरी म्हणजे काय की रेस्ट्रिक्शन आहे सो इट इज गोइंग टू रिड्यूस द डायमेन्शन आता डायमेन्शन रिड्यूस झाल्यामुळे काय झालं जर आपल्याला मास फ्लो रेट कॉन्स्टंट ठेवायचा असेल तर वेलॉसिटी वाढवावा लागेल कारण डायमेन्शन कमी झालं म्हणजे जाण्याचा मार्ग आता आकुंचन पावला इट हॅज बिकम लेसर डायमीटर हॅज बिकम लेसर सो if you want to ensure that mass flow remains constant, the velocity has to increase. म्हणजे velocity जास्त velocity ने गेलं तरच तो mass flow rate constant राहणार. बरोबर का? दीक्षा?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So, okay. So, assuming that why we need to increase the velocity has been understood. Now, the next question comes into picture. इथले एअर तर इकडे जाते पण एअरची वेलॉसिटी कोण वाढवणार आणि कशी वाढवणार आपण आतमध्ये जाऊन त्याला ढकलू शकत नाही जास्त तिथे काय बसवलेलं नाही ज्याच्यामुळे त्याची वेलॉसिटी वाढेल एनर्जी कुठून येणार कारण एनर्जी कॅनॉट बी क्रिएटेड नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड मग असं असेल तर अचानक इथून इथपर्यंत वेलॉसिटी कशी वाढेल वाढवायला तर पाहिजे कारण आपण कन्व्हर्जन सेक्शन तिथं दिलाय म्हणजे वेलॉसिटी वाढायला पाहिजे परंतु वाढवणार कशी आणि त्याच्यासाठी येणारी सो व्हेन वी से वेलॉसिटी इज इन्क्रीजिंग दॅट मीन्स हाफ mv स्क्वेअर करेक्ट कायनेटिक एनर्जी इज गोइंग टू इन्क्रीज नाउ हाऊ टू इन्क्रीज द कायनेटिक एनर्जी वेअर द एनर्जी विल कम फ्रॉम कुठून आणणार ही एनर्जी कॅन एनीबडी टेल मी एनीबडी आतापर्यंतची कंडिशन मी सांगितली Now you tell me how I can increase the kinetic energy. In order to increase the velocity, the kinetic energy has to be increased. The kinetic energy is given by half mv square. Mass is remaining constant. Now that means velocity has to be increased. Now in order to increase the velocity, where the energy will come from? energy has to be supplied. So who is going to supply the energy? Kedar Yadav. Kedar Yadav. Kedar Yadav. Kedar Yadav, unmute yourself. Kedar Yadav sleeping. नंतर केदार म्हणतो सर मी होतो लेक्चरला. बघा क्वेश्चन विचारलं की गायबच होतो केदार. कुठं आहे केदार? गेला का? बालाजी पिसे.
यस सर.
हा काय सांगू शकाल का? एनर्जी कुठून आणायची? आता वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची एअरची, बरोबर आहे ना?
यस सर.
हा, तर आता कशी वाढवायची आपल्याला?
कडे सरफेस मुळे व्हेंचुरीमुळे वाढते वेलोसिटी.
परंतु एनर्जी तयार होत नाही ना तिथं. एनर्जी कुठून तयार होते? एनर्जी तयार होऊ शकत नाही. आताच मी सांगितलं, लॉ सांगितला तुम्हाला, नॅचरल लॉ सांगितला. एनर्जी कॅनॉट बी क्रिएटेड नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड. इट कॅन बी ओनली कन्वर्टेड फ्रॉम वन फॉर्म टू अनदर. बरोबर का? ही स्टेटमेंट ऐकलं असेल तुम्ही.
येस सर.
बरं, मग आता तिथं कायनेटिक एनर्जी वाढवायची आहे म्हणजे त्या एअरला कुठून तर कायनेटिक एनर्जी द्यायला पाहिजे.
येस.
हा, कोण देणार आता? एक्स्ट्रा कायनेटिक एनर्जी वेलॉसिटी वाढवण्यासाठी कुठून देणार आपण?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Anybody else? Akshay दिया.
Yes, sir.
हा, एनी इनपुट फ्रॉम युअर साइड? कशी आहे वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची? एनर्जी कुठून द्यायची? कोण देणार एनर्जी?
सर त्या वेंचुरीमुळे एरिया कमी झालाय, मग त्याला फ्लो व्हायसाठी एरिया कमी आहे, त्यामुळे प्रेशर वाढणार आणि
प्रेशर वाढणार असेल तर प्रेशर वाढवण्यासाठी पण आपल्याला एनर्जी द्यावं लागेल, आणि कायनेटिक एनर्जी वाढवणार असेल तर त्यासाठी पण आपल्याला एनर्जी द्यावं लागेल. ती कुठून आणायची? कुठून?
नो आयडिया सर.
नो आयडिया. ओके, अजून कोणाला काय कोण सांगू शकते? हा प्लीज सांगा.
Fuel.
Pardon? Somebody said something? अजित गायकवाड. अजित, हा बोला. कुठून आणायची एनर्जी? आपल्याला वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची. आता इथं एअरची फ्रॉम इथून इथपर्यंत आपल्याला वेलॉसिटी वाढवत न्यायची. एनर्जी कुठून आणणार आणि कशी देणार इथल्या एअरला?
Sorry, sir, I don't know.
You don't. Okay, you are not knowing. Okay, I will try to understand now. Make you understand. Okay, thank you. So आपल्याला इथून इथपर्यंत आता वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची आहे. तर वेलॉसिटी आपण हा प्लीज, somebody was saying something. ओके, वेलॉसिटी जर वाढवायची आहे, आता वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची आहे म्हणजे एनर्जी दिली पाहिजे. परंतु लॉ सांगतो की एनर्जी कॅनॉट बी क्रिएटेड नॉर डिस्ट्रॉयड. म्हणजे इथं नवीन एनर्जी तयार करू शकत नाही किंवा डिस्ट्रॉय पण करू शकत नाही, परंतु एक फॉर्म मधून अनदर फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट करू शकतो. So in order to increase the velocity from here to here, what happens in the venturi is the pressure goes on decreasing and the pressure energy gets converted into kinetic energy. And so as in the convergence session, pressure energy gets converted into kinetic energy. म्हणजे इथं जेवढी प्रेशर एनर्जी आहे ती इथं नसणार आहे. इथली एनर्जी, प्रेशर एनर्जी इथल्यापेक्षा कमी असणार आहे. म्हणजेच जसं एअर पुढे जाते तसे काय होणार? प्रेशर एनर्जी गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू कायनेटिक एनर्जी. अँड ज्या वेळेला ती थ्रोटला येईल, सेंटरला येईल, whatever possible maximum pressure energy has been converted from pressure energy into kinetic energy. इथून कन्वर्ट झाले ऑलरेडी, बरोबर. आता काय झालं? हे प्रेशर कन्व्हर्जन झाल्यामुळं इथं काय झालं, प्रेशर कमी झालं आणि वेलॉसिटी वाढली. म्हणजे आता थ्रोट मध्ये काय झालं, थ्रोट मध्ये ऍट द थ्रोट वी हॅव मिनिमम प्रेशर अँड मॅक्झिमम वेलॉसिटी. We have minimum pressure and maximum velocity. So we have put the jet in the minimum pressure region. Can you observe? We have put the jet in the minimum pressure region. In the minimum pressure region. म्हणजे इथं प्रेशर कमी आहे आणि इथं किती प्रेशर आहे, हे ऍक्च्युअली कनेक्टेड टू ऍटमॉस्फिअर. इट इज वेंटेड टू ऍटमॉस्फिअर, वेंटेड टू ऍटमॉस्फिअर. म्हणजे इथं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर आहे आणि इथं तुमच्या आत एअर होती, इथं पण ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर आहे, इथं पण ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर आहे. व्हॉट इज द प्रेशर हियर? द प्रेशर हियर वेंट ऑन डिक्रीजिंग. हियर इट विल बी मिनिमम. सो वी हॅव पुट द जेट at the throat of the venturi, and in the throat of the venturi, what is happening? The pressure is going on decreasing and the pressure will be minimum in the venturi throat of the venturi. आणि त्या रिजन मध्ये आपण जेटचा ओपनिंग केले. जेटचं ओपनिंग कुठे केले? थ्रोट ऑफ द वेंचुरी. इंटेन्शनली केले का? आपल्याला माहिती आहे इथं प्रेशर कमी आहे, मिनिमम आहे, आणि इथं जास्त आहे, इथं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक आहे, इथं कमी आहे. नाउ वी हॅव व्हॉट? This particular pipeline, on this particular pipeline, this side we have atmospheric and this side we have less pressure. That means we have pressure differential across this pipe. बरोबर का? Yes? Agree everybody? Balaji?
Yes, sir.
Agreed?
Yes, I agree.
आहे का प्रेशर डिफरन्स? प्रेशर डिफरन्स आहे का? आहे का? इथं नेगेटिव्ह प्रेशर आहे. का प्रेशर नेगेटिव्ह झाला? इथं प्रेशर कमी होत आला म्हणून इथं प्रेशर कमी झाला आणि इथं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर आहे. आता इथं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर, इथं नेगेटिव्ह प्रेशर, म्हणजे दोन्हीच्या मध्ये इथला आणि इथल्या मध्ये प्रेशर डिफरन्शियल आहे. आणि ऑलवेज फ्लुइड फ्लोज फ्रॉम हाय प्रेशर रिजन टू लो प्रेशर रिजन. म्हणजे फ्लुइड काय होणार? हाय प्रेशर रिजन मधून लो प्रेशर region मध्ये फ्लो व्हायला चालू होणार. So what happens? The fluid starts coming out. Here fluid is fuel. Fuel starts coming out through the jet in the form of a jet. Okay? In the form of a spray. In the form of a spray. Why it is coming? Because this we have located in the venturi throat. So the negative pressure over here and positive pressure over here on the upper side of the float chamber fuel. Here this particular pressure differential makes the fuel to flow in this direction from here to here. कारण या पाईपच्या या एंडला प्रेशर कमी आहे, या साइडला प्रेशर जास्त आहे. So we have a pressure differential and that makes the fuel to flow in. I hope everybody has understood why the air is flowing in and why the fuel is flowing into the barrel of the carburetor. Okay. So for today, I think this much is sufficient. Okay. I will not make it much heavier. So everybody understood what has been explained. आता मी कधीही विचारलं इथला एअर का फ्लो होतोय आणि इथला फ्युएल का फ्लो होतोय, प्रत्येकाला याचं उत्तर सांगता आलं पाहिजे. आणि समजलं नसेल तर आत्ताच विचारा. Everybody understood? Anybody who has not understood can unmute yourself and ask. I will once again explain if required. Anybody who has not understood? Because I will ask the question. अभिषेक जोडमोटे, अभिषेक जोडमोटे, अभिषेक जोडमोटे, unmute yourself. अभिषेक जोडमोटे. Yes, Abhishek. Abhijit Rajput. Who is this Abhijit Rajput? Can you unmute yourself? Abhijit Rajput. Abhishek Dodmote, Abhijit Rajput. One of you may unmute. See, many students are sleeping. Many students are sleeping. So what it means is that henceforth, whenever I am taking lecture in the afternoon session, then I have to continuously go on asking the questions to keep you awake. I have to continuously ask questions. Abhijit Rajput. Abhijit. Abhijit. Abhishek. Jodmote. Abhishek. Okay, Ajit Gaikwad.
Yes, sir.
You tell me now. Why the fuel is coming in? What is making the fuel to come in? Fuel आतमध्ये येण्यासाठी काय आपण प्रोव्हिजन केले? काय व्यवस्था केली आहे? I want answer.
सर वेलोसिटी वाढवली आणि प्रेशर गेला.
प्रेशर
डिक्रीज.
डिक्रीज का डिक्रीज होतोय प्रेशर? प्रेशर का डिक्रीज होतोय? Yes, why pressure is decreasing? काय झालं? What happened? Why you are muted? Unmute. Please unmute and tell me the answer. Anil Dongre. Anil Dongre, can you answer? Anil Dongre is also sleeping.
सर डिक्रीज.
सांगा.
हॅलो.
बोला सांगा.
सर वेंचुरीला एरिया डिक्रीज होतोय ना, त्यामुळे
काय झालं?
डिक्रीज झाला आणि वेलोसिटी इन्क्रीज झाली.
तर वेंचुरी लावल्यामुळं आपल्याला पॅसेजचं डायमीटर कमी झालं. पॅसेजचं डायमीटर कमी झाल्यामुळं आपल्याला तिथं वेलॉसिटी वाढवावं लागते. आणि वेलॉसिटी वाढवण्यासाठी काय केलं आपण? प्रेशर एनर्जी गेट्स कन्व्हर्टेड इनटू कायनेटिक एनर्जी. बरोबर? कारण आपण एनर्जी क्रिएट तर करू शकत नाही, पण आपण काय करू शकतो? एक फॉर्मची एनर्जी दुसऱ्या फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्ट होऊ शकते. मग आपण काय केलं? व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग इन द वेंचुरी? प्रेशर एनर्जी इज गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू कायनेटिक एनर्जी. कायनेटिक एनर्जी का वाढवायला पाहिजे? कारण वेलॉसिटी वाढवायची आहे. पण त्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला काय खर्ची पडावं लागलं? प्रेशर खर्ची पडावं लागली. मग प्रेशर काय झाली? कमी झाली. म्हणजे इथं येईपर्यंत जिथं डायव्हर्जन सेशन संपतंय, सॉरी कन्व्हर्जन सेशन म्हणजे कमी होण्याचं जी आहे डायमेन्शन कमी होणं, त्याला कन्व्हर्जन म्हणतो. जिथं कन्व्हर्जन सेशन संपतंय तिथं काय झालं? प्रेशर मॅक्झिमम झाला, सॉरी मिनिमम झाला आणि वेलॉसिटी मॅक्झिमम झाली. बरोबर? आणि त्या रिजन मध्ये आपण काय केलं? आपण आता जेट बसवलं. कुठल्या रिजन मध्ये? जिथं प्रेशर मिनिमम आहे त्या रिजन मध्ये. म्हणजे इथं प्रेशर मिनिमम आहे, इथं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक आहे. म्हणजे इथं जास्त प्रेशर, इथं कमी प्रेशर. आणि ड्यू टू दिस पर्टिक्युलर डिफरन्स इन द प्रेशर, fuel is made to come out of the jet in the form of a spray. Hope understood? Ajit? Hope Ajit
Yes,
understood?
Sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you then. So now that it is 3:12.
Hello.
Balaji, please.
Sir, at position throttle valve and choke, is there any pressure difference?
No, this is there to only control the amount of mass flow rate. इथं आपल्याला हा जर पूर्ण ओपन असेल तर इथनं पूर्ण एअर येणार, आणि ही जर पूर्ण ओपन असेल तर इथनं येणारी जी आहे ती पूर्णपणे मास पुढे जाणार. म्हणजे आता काय डिस्कस केलं की असं अज्युम केलं की ही पण पूर्ण ओपन आहे आणि ही पण पूर्ण ओपन आहे, पण ही जर क्लोज असेल तर इथं मास फ्लो कमी होणार, बरोबर का? कारण इथं आपण त्याला ओपनिंग दिलेलं नाही पूर्ण. सो दॅट इज गोइंग टू इफेक्ट. परंतु आपण आता जी काही डिस्कशन केलं ती असं अज्युम करून केलं की ही पूर्ण ओपन केलं, ही पूर्ण ओपन केलंय, किंवा हे दोन्ही गोष्टी इथं नाहीच, फक्त आपण हे पाईप आहे असं गृहीत धरून आपण डिस्कशन केलं की इथं काय होणार आहे आणि जेट इथंच का बसवलं, याचं उत्तर आता आपण डिस्कस केलं. काय इथं आपण डिस्कस केलं? कारण आपल्याला प्रेशर डिफरन्स पाहिजे, एअर फ्लो होण्यासाठी प्रेशर डिफरन्स पाहिजे होता. त्यासाठी आपण काय केलं, वन एंड बी कनेक्टेड टू इंजिन व्हॅक्यूम आणि अनदर एंड बी कनेक्टेड टू ऍटमॉस्फिअर. इथं प्रेशर डिफरन्स क्रिएट झाला, त्यामुळे एअर फ्लो झाली. आपल्याला फ्लुइड फ्लो होण्यासाठी पण प्रेशर डिफरन्स पाहिजे. मग आपण काय केलं, इथं वेंचुरी बसवला. वेंचुरी बसवल्यामुळे काय झालं, इथं नेगेटिव्ह प्रेशर रिजन तयार झालं, इथं पॉझिटिव्ह प्रेशर आहे आणि दिस प्रेशर डिफरन्स मेक द फ्युएल टू कम आउट. ओके, नाउ फ्युएल इज कमिंग इन, एअर इज कमिंग इन, नाउ इट इज गोइंग टू मिक्स. ओके Balaji?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now it is time to conclude. So today we discussed some things related to the carburation process, some problems related to when we are going for carburation, and we discussed the classification of the carburetors, which we are going to once again discuss as and when it is coming across. And finally, we went on to discuss the basic carburetor or a simple carburetor. Okay, so some aspects of the simple carburetor we have discussed. Remaining part we are going to discuss in the next class. So now those who have understood everything can mark their attendance and leave, and those who are having any doubt, please ask your questions. Yes, Prathamesh Podgund have said velocity is increasing, then the pressure is decreases. Yes. So in order to increase the velocity, the pressure has to be decreased. Yes, he is correct. In the chat box, he has written. Okay, any other doubt? Anybody having? If you have any doubt, please ask. And if you have understood everything, then you can leave. Mark your attendance in the chat box and you can leave.
सर
हाँ प्लीज. हाँ प्लीज.
सर नोट
हाँ बोला बोला कुणाल.
चॅप्टरचे नोट्स
फर्स्ट चॅप्टरच्या नोट्स हा देतो देतो मी. परंतु सगळं बघितलं का, व्हिडिओ बघितले का, त्यातून सगळं समजलं? नोट्स पाहिजेतच का? ठीक आहे, मी देतो स्कॅन नोट आहे ते देतो मी. ग्रुप वरती टाकतो पुन्हा. नो प्रॉब्लेम.
सर सेकंड चॅप्टरचं पण नोट्स पाठवा.
बर ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. थोडस आता सेल्फ रिलायंट व्हा की, सेल्फ सफिशियंट व्हा की. आय एम नॉट ऑब्जेक्टिंग युअर आस्किंग फॉर द नोट्स, बट देण्यात ठेवा. आपल्याला जर चांगला इंजिनियर बनायचं असेल तर स्वतःहून अभ्यास करायला पाहिजे आणि स्वतःहून नोट्स तयार करायला शिका. थोडस पुस्तक वाचा किंवा इंटरनेटवरनं डाउनलोड करून वाचा. बट स्टिल आय विल प्रोव्हाइड यू द नोट्स, नो प्रॉब्लेम, बिकॉज वी हॅव अ प्रोव्हिजन फॉर गिव्हिंग द नोट्स. सो आय विल गिव्ह इट. अजित? Yes. Okay, no problem. Thank you. I will provide the notes.
ओके.
नाही झालं झालं एक बस झाले बस येस बस बस काय झालं
आता हे बीईचं सेकंड सेमिस्टरचं आम्हाला असं स्ट्रक्चर दिलेलं
हा
हा त्यानुसार मी मार्केटिंग मॅनेजमेंट प्रोफेशनल युट्यूब 423 कोड टाकून ऍड केला. प्लास्टिक इंजिनिअरिंग 424 कोड टाकून ऍड केला.
ही हा इलेक्टिव्ह 4 आहे आणि ही इलेक्टिव्ह
फ्री इलेक्टिव्ह हे काय की
हा ही फ्री इलेक्टिव्ह
कोड वेगवेगळे
हा हा बरोबर
बरं
हा
पण
हा
हे 19-20 सेकंड सेमिस्टर आपल्याला कधी दिले 17-18 म्हणजे विदेश 17-18 पण मागच्या वर्षी मागच्या सेमिस्टरला हे स्ट्रक्चर असं होतं
चेंज केलेलं आहे सगळं.
आणि ठीक आहे ना मग ही अजून एक क्रिएट करा
हो.
आणि ती तिथं ऍड करा त्या सेमिस्टरला ती राहू द्या ही भरू नका
सर हे एका डिव्हिजनचं ए डिव्हिजनचं भरलं
बरोबर
त्याच्यात आहे तसं.
आहे तसं ह्याच्यात आहे तसं
बरं
आणि बी डिव्हिजनला मी सरांना भेटलो मग असं असं आहे
सांगितलं मला MEA 24
हो
MEA 24 ही जी आहे ME 424 ही झालं कुठला सब्जेक्ट तुम्ही कुठला पहिला दिला मार्केटिंग मॅनेजमेंट आता तुम्हाला दुसरा द्यायचा असेल तर ME 424A टाका आणि दुसरा त्याला असाइन करा
केलं हे काय
हा मग यातला तिसरा कुठला जर कधीतरी असेल तर ME 4B टाका आणि त्याला तिसरा करा
केलं हो आम्ही
हा मग
पण एक डिव्हिजन आम्ही ऑलरेडी भरलेली आहे
ह्याप्रमाणे
भरली आहे.
असू दे की
ते चुकलंय
तर कसं चुकलं
आता इथं हा जो आहे प्रोफेशनल इलेक्टिव्हला
हा
इथं ओरल आहे
हा
आणि नवीन जे स्ट्रक्चर आहे
हा
त्यात ओरल नाही त्याला
नवीन स्ट्रक्चर मध्ये ओरल नाहीये
नाहीये
ठीक आहे की
याप्रमाणे भरले
हा मग तुम्ही तिथं नवीन कोर्स क्रिएट करा नाव काय पण असू द्या ए च्या ऐवजी बी टाका नाव
सर ए डिव्हिजनचं शेड्यूल ह्याप्रमाणे तयार झालं
बरं
आम्ही सबमिट केले
ठीक आहे
आता ते काय करायचं ए डिव्हिजनचं
ती असू दे की तिथं त्या सेमिस्टरला तरी ती लागणार आहे. ही 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 सिलेबस जिथं कुठं लागू झालंय की तिथं लागणार आहे.
हे नव्हतं तर हे चेंज झालंय.
हे चेंज झाले,
असं आहे
ते स्ट्रक्चर चेंज झाले नापासून.
ते स्ट्रक्चर पूर्ण बदललेलं आहे.
नाही. मग ही तुम्ही कसं काय रेफर केलं?
हे
तेच
दिलेलं
दिलं ना आम्हाला
office
बघायचं.
वाल्यांनी.
नाही, तसं नाहीये, तसं नाहीये. आपल्याला एक ध्यानात ठेवा.
याप्रमाणे दिले.
ही कुठल्या year साठी आहे?
ही second
बी
sem.
साठी सेकंड सेम.
बी सेकंड सेमला.
हा,
मग तुम्ही आता एकदा सोनाने सरांना विचारा काय करायचं. कारण आता त्या केसमध्ये काय करावं लागेल. त्यात आता कुठं इलेक्टिव्हला प्रॉब्लेम येतो ना, बाकी कुठला प्रॉब्लेम?
नाही.
आता सगळं कळालंय सर आम्हाला.
ही A division अशी भरली आहे. पण
ह्याप्रमाणे
ह्याप्रमाणे भरली आहे. पण ऍक्च्युअल
स्ट्रक्चर
पूर्ण चेंज झालंय आणि त्याच्यात चेंज होताना काय झालंय, इलेक्टिव्ह चेंज झाले आणि दुसरे काय चेंज झाले काही ह्याची आता हे IQM ला इथं आईला एक्सटर्नल ओरल आहे तर ती काढली आहे, दुसऱ्या ह्याच्यात ऍड केली आहे, असं काही झालेले.
ठीक आहे. दुसरे तुम्ही सोनाने सरांना सांगा ही जी आहे ती ओरिजिनल स्ट्रक्चर असं होता आणि आम्हाला अशा प्रकारे स्ट्रक्चर मिळाला माहिती. त्यामुळे आम्ही तशा प्रकारे तयार केलं. आपण काय करायचं मी तोपर्यंत इकडचं संपून चालतो. तुम्ही जाऊन भेटा तेवढं.
पण सर हे आज काय ते क्लिअर करा म्हणजे.
नाही करूया की. मग तुम्ही मला आतापर्यंत सांगितलं नाही. आतापर्यंत आपण तुम्ही सांगितलं असतं तर सकाळपासून मी रिकाम होतो.
नाही, आता आम्ही हे सगळं बघितलं सर.
बरं ठीक आहे, जावा तुम्ही सरांची डिस्कस करा काय सर काय म्हणतात बघा. तोपर्यंत मी इकडचं संपतो.